people are praising it, calling it one of the best Star Trek seasons they've ever seen.
Which awesome it was a year ago.
Yeah.
With all due respect. Mm-hmm. So why was it canceled?
Right.
Why?
I'm
asking you.
Why, Mick? Why?
Who do we talk to?
You look authoritative.
Yeah.
Your shirt matches the chair.
Commander.
Why?
You're the guy.
He's wearing
with the pip. I mean, we've been sitting on it for a while, and I think we just wanted to see it as the crew at first. We were like, we just want to see this out in the world. And then when it did come out, it was overwhelming, and it touched every single crew member, and we were all just overjoyed to see that we surpassed season 1, which is what you always want to do. So you want the show to grow. And I think by having a fantastic season 2, it makes the idea of season 3 all the much more better possibility.
Absolutely. And, we're all friends here. Spoilers are kept within the confines. You guys aren't doing your panel until tomorrow. Have you guys heard anything about season 3?
Are we all friends here?
We're all friends. Hey,
are you sure there's not an enemy in this room?
The first time I interviewed you, you told me about Robert Picardo being in Prodigy, and I sat on that secret for 2 years.
He's my dear friend. I can't sit on any secret. Which probably doesn't surprise you. But we're hoping very much for season 3. And I would say very directly, why shouldn't there be? It's the best animated series, really, on TV. I was shocked when it was canceled. Mm-hmm. I thought, what are you guys thinking about, right? And then Netflix picked it up because a little plane went over Netflix with a little streamer saying, don't be Egypts here, pick it up, right? And they did. So they've written a classic cartoon.
Brett even promised to paint himself purple.
I'll paint myself purple. I'll do it. I'll have an animatronic dingle
live
dingle.
action.
The dingle dingle.
Well, by then it won't be animatronic. You know what I mean?
I do, bro. I
do. Brett, that's a good segue. Season 2.
I shudder to think what this is going to be.
Season 2 of Star Trek Prodigy is a lot about Dal maturing, in a sense. Obviously, I feel like maybe you're older than Dal is in the show. For you to dig in and get that kind of where he kind of makes the evolution from being like the kid who causes trouble to kind of finding his lane in Starfleet. What was that like?
I mean, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him and his whole journey and where I think he will continue. I just see him sort of gearing up to be this really, really incredible person and leader and teammate. So
dimensional.
I'm really so excited for him. There's that little glimmer of hope in me too that he figures out his thing with Gwen too. And I just see him having a very well-rounded experience coming from where he came from, and also being able to carry that empathy with him forever for other people and other members and other even augments who that they can be great, that they can achieve the things he's done as well. So I'm really proud of Dal. I think he's come a long way.
And you can see this through the eyes of the little ones watching it.
Yeah.
How extraordinary it is to be educated in that way. To follow him as he falls and gets up, falls and gets up again. And each time you get up, you stand taller. And our relationship, of course, is wonderful.
Amazing.
Janeway, hologram Janeway, has finally learned how to back off and let them fail in order to win. I think season 2 is spectacular.
Me too.
Just spectacular.
And I was just going to add that this is just chapter 1 of Dal.
Totally.
Our goal and dream is for this to keep going, whether it's more seasons, an animated film, whatever, but to grow up with these kids, to see them truly become adults and Starfleet officers, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And that got me thinking about Dal, because I feel like the energy he brings as a first officer under Gwen, he kind of has that rogue cowboy kind of style. He could probably be a little bit of pain in the ass, kind of like season 1 Riker and TNG kind of deal. But what does he bring to the table being Gwen's second in command?
I mean, I think you just said it. I think there is, there's something about Dal that it's on the fringes of, what's right or good or logical.
And he's a rebel.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It's unconventional but effective sometimes, and hopefully he can like learn to hone that, like gall into things that can be filtered more logically sometimes. But I think as a first officer, he's definitely has Gwen's, he's definitely cares about her in a way where he's attentive really to what it is that she wants. And I think that he's going to be able to help her.
And this subordination is going to teach you also humility.
Oh, yes.
But also think
about... Which he needs some.
But think about what Dal can offer Gwen.
Yeah.
I think Gwen's sometimes a little too much in her head.
Totally.
And there's Dal is like, you can do this.
Let's go. Yeah.
It's that positivity.
He's full of surprises.
Yeah. And there's this cool like leaning effect because I think Dal sometimes is like, I don't know if I can do this. And he's just sort of like making it up as he goes. Whereas Gwen is like, I have a plan. This makes sense. And I think there's this, they can lean on each other in that way. When things are going not according to plan, I think Dal can come in and go, it's okay, because I'm used to this process, but the pressure's not on me.
Teaching small children how to take good risks.
Totally.
Right?
And you know where that chemistry came from?
Where?
Kirk and Spock's relationship. They balanced each other. If it was just the Kirk show or just the Spock show, I don't think it would have worked.
Star Trek.
Star Trek worked because of the two of them. They balanced each other. And
don't tell that to Bill Shatner.
Okay.
Don't give him a word about that at all. But there is something very interesting that I think evolves on it further because not only are you her first officer, but there's the romantic element kind of lingering in the background. Now, this brings me to you. Kate. You were always an advocate of the fact that Janeway could not. The Janeway and Chakotay thing, it couldn't happen. It would cheapen, the character. Does that same problem?
Not the character.
Not the character.
The command.
The command.
I was the first female captain. There's no way I was going to say Chakotay in my ready room for a little dingle dangle.
Right, exactly. And I see that possibly happening with Dal and Gwen having romantic tension. I see a storytelling element there where you.
It's fair in this story. It's right in this story. It wasn't in mine. Don't you agree?
I agree.
And I think that tension between the two of you is terrific.
Amazing.
As long as you can sustain that, guys. That's really,
you should
really
see the tension
very
between
good.
these two. It's amazing. It's off screen.
Where are we going?
It's off screen.
Everything fun is
We're
off
laughing
screen.
a lot today.
When things like that happen, you say pause.
That's what
There we
I'm
go.
missing.
Yeah.
I've never said
Pause.
pause.
You gotta say pause.
In my life.
Pause.
Yes, my
What is interesting, Kate, is I feel like there is a very deliberate flirtation between hologram Janeway and the Doctor, the EMH, you and Robert Picardo's character. And I found that interesting because I even asked Robert Picardo, I was like, is that like an ethical thing? Like he's worked with the real Janeway. If there was like some low-key romance between the holograms, is that
a flirtation.
verboten or something?
There's a moment in Prodigy where hologram Janeway says, I've read all of your Hollow novels to the Doctor, and I'm obsessed with them.
I'm a big fan.
It's terrific, isn't it?
Yeah.
And why shouldn't it be there?
And he is just puffed up. He's just like, oh.
Well, Janeway always loved hollow novels too, so that it does work in that.
Janeway
context.
always loved the Doctor. That really works. Yeah. Chemistry.
Speaking ahead to things that will be announced later today, but just talking about it, we learned that Robert Picardo will be in Starfleet Academy. Do you guys hope that some of Prodigy's legacy will be carried on and he'll be able to reference the show throughout that?
We know it will. I think it has to.
What do you mean? I don't understand this question.
Will there be Prodigy connections or references, in future
Starfleet
Star
Academy?
Trek shows? Yeah.
Why? How?
Well, the Doctor's going to be a teacher there because he's a hologram. He can go throughout 1,000 years into
I
the
think
future.
the Doctor's going to do whatever he pleases. Bob Picardo is the most amazing actor.
Yes.
He is great. He is
But he
great.
also is a great, great friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's capable of anything. He's going to be great on Starfleet Academy. It's wonderful news.
Awesome. Kate, I've brought this up on other Star Trek podcasts, but this is a rare opportunity for me to talk to you about it.
I hope it's deeply personal.
Janeway is from Indiana. I'm from Indiana. You and I do not sound alike. You kind of still have.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's just she's from Bloomington, Indiana, which is about an hour from where I live.
Well, I'm from Iowa.
That's true.
I was born and raised in Iowa. They all talk like, you want the captain talking like that? I don't think so. Red alert! Engage! Yeah. Bring the cores. No. It has to be more stylized.
Right.
And I was told that going in. They want that elevated. The language is elevated. You see it in Picard. You saw it in Shatner.
Right.
It's a slightly Shakespearean thing, I think.
Gotcha.
Also, I'm a trained actress.
Well, yeah, I get it. I just didn't know if they were like doing some deep research into Indiana and Voyager, which maybe not. I don't know. I kind of get the sense.
I went there to see the statue of Janeway.
You did.
That was an amazing thing.
It is a very nice statue.
They made a statue of me.
Maybe someday,
In Indiana.
Brett will get one.
If you're lucky, if you're lucky, you keep your dingle dangles going and your member berries in
This
your
will be
pocket.
enough for me.
You can go
This is enough.
What is that?
That is Deadpool.
I took a picture
Popcorn
of it earlier.
bucket signed by Rob Liefeld. The story is very complex as to why his mouth is gaping.
I was going to ask why is his mouth open?
We don't have to get into
Well,
it.
what do you think? What do you think?
Is this where you get the
don't need to-
popcorn from?
Yeah. And
interesting.
whatever tickles your fancy.
I mean,
fancy.
I'll tell you about it later.
I gotta tell you, I'm not sure that really tickles my fancy. How about you? Anyway, well, that's,
Brett, I do have a question for you because we know that Dal's an augment, and it got me thinking, like, augments live longer than humans, but like exactly how long? I mean, there's a potential for you to pop in live action series down the line.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love for that to be a thing. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah,
Or-
how long do
yeah,
augments live?
how long
I don't
do
know.
they
It's an
live?
interesting idea. We didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Well, you
Or it
must
could be,
have some
a very
idea.
shortened lifespan.
I know, right?
What?
We were going to kill him off at the beginning of season 3.
I
but
knew
guess-
it.
No.
I saw it coming.
I do wonder about season 3. Do you guys have like tentative plans in your heads about where you're going to take the story if that call does come? Is there?
I think every day we think about something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Space-time thought. Think about it. Maybe it'll happen.
Opportunities are endless.
Mm-hmm. I think like why you see us laughing and having so much fun is we love this show so much, and I think we're still filled with so much hope for it, even though right now this is the end of the series, but we have a lot of hope that there might be some incarnation of it.
I'd be really dashed if it weren't picked up. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
A part of me would really want to question, what are they picking up? What do they herald as great, if not this particular animated series? Because it is unquestionably superior. There, said it.
Yeah, oh boy.
Well, I mean, one avenue, Will Wheaton has that huge arc in season 2. I talked to him recently. He's already trying to sneak into the panel later today, the friendship panel, and pitch a Travelers series or something like that. I don't know if he's actually here. But do you guys see the potential in that happening, having a Doctor Who-ized Star Trek series?
I think
Will?
on day one when we were recording with him, and he, I felt like we wrote, a wonderful next chapter for his character. But when his performance is so good,
He's really great.
oh, he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
When we
he's
heard in the
great
room,
actor.
I'm like, I would watch a show following this character. This version of Wesley.
And is he vocally dexterous as well?
Oh, yes.
Really, all over the place?
Oh, he's fantastic. Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think what's great, it goes, we were talking about this earlier. We make the crew up of good people. We cast it with good people. And I think that, everyone who knows Will, like, he is a great person. And I think all of this is just great people making a great show.
Kate, I think a couple years ago you put Alex Kurtzman on the spot in Hall H saying,
Me?
yeah, you wanted,
Oh,
you
no.
said,
Can't imagine.
I'm still wanting Janeway to be in live action. I didn't know if
Did I
there's
say
been any
that?
progress on that front. Or-
This thing is always going around and around and around and around because the fans, I think, would very much like to see her re-invoked. But I talked to these guys last night at dinner about this. One has to be very careful that this choice is not hubristic. That does not interest me at all. Because for lack of a better word, and I loathe this word, the legacy is already in place. I was the first female captain. I gave it everything I had for 7 years, and it changed my life dramatically. To come back, it would have to be spectacularly good. And I don't know if that's possible.
Prodigy is spectacularly good.
Prodigy.
So you had the instincts for it. I actually had a fellow media person say that you chastised them in season 1 for calling it a children's show.
Yes.
You take umbrage to that when people make that mention.
Well, because it crosses all demographics. As I say, it's the children sitting next to their mother, and the mother is sitting next to her mother, and on it goes. It's the Star Trek universe. Only this has the brilliant twist of introducing characters who are not Star Trek characters. They become Star Trek characters. That's the thrilling part, right? Yeah, it's very, very novel.
Excellent. I know you guys have talked about trying to make sure Prodigy isn't lost in the mix of all these upcoming shows. Is there any interest in finding ways, or other creatives reaching out to you and like asking about the Val Nakot or something like that? Trying to be like, hey, can we use that? Or what's the deal with that?
What do you
I think
mean?
you'd have to wait and see. I think we can't say anything, and maybe it's real, maybe it's not, but I think the Prodigy is going to be around.
Okay.
Mhm.
I feel like the last time you said something like that to me, that meant yes. So that is the answer. And even if it's a delusion. Guys, I think that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for talking to me.
You were great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Captain.
suffering.
Admiral, sorry.
I prefer Captain.
Yeah.
At ease.